Hello, and thank you for tuning in. Rose Ward, Stampersdelight.com. So thank you for tuning in to my Monday YouTube Live. I'm just going to reach over here, make sure I'm live. Hop on, tell me where you're from. Let's get this set up. There we go. Okay, so just hop on, say hi. I might be a minute early. I see some watching, but I don't see any comments, so definitely say hi. I'd love to see your comments. Okay, there we go. Hey, Bree. Who else is on? Hi, Susie. Palmdale. Oh, Susie, my kids live in Palmdale. Great. Well, thank you for tuning in. Okay, so we got quite a few people on now. Hey, Winann. Okay, Rose Ward, Stampersdelight.com. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, and come stamp with me. As always, I'm going to put this back here so I don't spill it. And we're going to get started. So thank you again for tuning in. Let me flip the camera. Okay. If you'd like to place an order with me, go to Stampersdelight.com. This is my July host code. Use that if your order is less than $150. If you'd like a catalog and you don't have a demonstrator, definitely contact me. Also, don't forget to check out Stampersdelightshop.com. That's where you can get that awesome mug and some other stamping goodies. Hey, Joyce. Hey, Adrina. Herman, Denise. Great. Thank you all for tuning in. We are going to get started. So, as you all know, August 3rd starts the new mini holiday catalog, and I've been doing Christmas in July. I will let you know this is the last Christmas in July that I'm doing. I will be off next weekend, or this coming weekend, so there'll be no YouTube or Facebook Live on Friday or Monday. Also starting August 3rd is the Celebration catalog. Now, I can't open this right now, but I will tell you that if you join my team in the Stampin' Up! Family, during Celebration, you get to pick out an extra bundle. For that $99, you get $125 of merchandise and one of 12 bundles they offer. So let's get started here. So on page, let me see, I just marked it. I can't open the catalog in front of you, but that's a no-no. Painted Christmas is on page 16. And this might be a little bit longer video because it is 2 stamp sets. Before we start that, a couple of things. Remember, my August online class is going to be a Christmas one. It's going to be using the whimsical trees. It's the Whimsy Wonder. And the description of the class will be after the video. I will add it to the description. So you definitely want to sign up for that by August 10th. Also, I have my paper share. That information will also be added. There is one designer series paper that we haven't been able to order yet in the US. As soon as that's available, it will be added to here. This you have to sign up by August 1st so that I can get all the papers in by August 3rd. Well, ordered by August 3rd and then sent out to you. Again, check the description later. Okay. So Ontario, Canada. Hi, Amy. Norma, you got me live. Great. Melbourne. Oh, we got some people across the pond. Thank you all so much for tuning in. So now what I want to show you is just a couple of cards that I received in the mail. This was from one of my customers, Yvonne. So thank you so much for your beautiful thank you card. The other one is from Joyce, one of my teammates who is on here right now. And this is a cute card, and you're going to see me do this tonight. I cased it from her card. And there it's a pull-out card. Look at that. Isn't that cute? So thank you so much for that, Joyce. Here's a few of the things you're going to see me showcase with that that bundle. One of the items is a free item, Be Dazzling specialty paper. That's in the Celebration catalog. I do want to mention that some of these Celebration items are while supplies last, and I believe this is one of them. So as soon as you can place your order for this, you want to get this beautiful paper. So the stamp set is A Christmas to Remember. I have been using that throughout the month. And that comes with the label dies. And I also have been going crazy using these label dies. They are great. I mean, I love the pine cones and the greenery, but the labels themselves work perfectly for so many things. And you're going to see that shortly. The other stamp set, excuse me. The other stamp set is Christmas Season. Some more pine cones and greenery. And they do work so well together, which you will see. These dies, okay, have these two great big dies here. There's the other one. And then we have some of the smaller pine cones, which are more detailed dies. Okay. A couple of other things that I'm going to be using, of course, are the holiday rhinestones. I use those a lot during the holidays. I love those. Let me just put those right there. A couple of other things that you will see are the tailor-made tags. And if you haven't seen those yet, I'll just open those real quick. So those are great for tags, but also for some gift ideas, which I have for you tonight. And then we have some embossing folders that I'll be using. And one of the embossing folders is in the new mini catalog. I love this one because it's actually two together. So it's star-crossed embossing folder. And this is my directions. And you see that you get two different embossed looks from that. Okay, and I'm sure there's a few more things I'm using, and I'll show you those shortly. Okay, so the first card I'm going to show you is this one. Now this suite also comes with this beautiful ribbon and these great little gold leaves, gold holly leaves. I love those. Look at those. Aren't those cute? They're fabric, a little bit of fabric on those. So this is the first card. And you can see I used that designer series specialty paper behind it. And there'll be still shots on my blog, Stampersdelight.com, tomorrow, and also on my Facebook page. So there's the labels. And then this one is a tent fold. So there's the first card that I did. And of course, I also stamped the envelope. I did use some Wink Stella on that also. The next card that I did was this one. Now, this is those two big dies I showed you. In the back, you can see the Evening Evergreen, and then over top of it, the more detailed one is that specialty paper. And there's some of those gold leaves again. Thank you, Patricia. And I did some stamping on that, and of course the envelope. The next card I'm going to show you is the idea that I got from Joyce. So thank you, Joyce. I made it into a Christmas card. I did change something on this. I'll show you that in a minute when I start stamping. And of course you got this little pull tab. And you just pull that out. And there's your sentiment inside. So this comes out like that. Great little card. I'm not sure where the envelope went to that one, but we'll just put that over here. Another card that I have, and I actually have 3 cards I'm going to stamp tonight. So like I said, this might be a little bit longer video. This is another little fancy fold card, very easy to do. And there's that star-studded or star-cross embossing folder there on the label dies. That opens that way. And those are the cards I have to show you. But what I wanted to show you too is some gift ideas. So these are those cute little boxes that we have in the annual catalog. And I made a belly band for that. Now this belly band is 2.5 inches by 12. And it doesn't quite go all the way around the box. So rather than use another piece of designer series paper, I'm going to show you what I did. Slide that off, and you can see the label right here. So if I flip this around, you'll see that it didn't quite meet, but the label is holding it together. So you don't have to use another whole piece of designer series paper. You can just adhere that label die to it and make a nice little gift box. Who wouldn't want to get this gift box, right? You could put anything in there, a gift, some chocolates, some cookies. The next item is a new box that's coming out. There's acetate window sheet there, and that does come, the box, I showed you these boxes before. So that does come all together. And I used a belly band around that. I think this was probably about 3 inches. And I just wrapped it around and then added the big label die, some of the pine cones. This is the specialty paper. And here's those tags, the tailor-made tags. So again, this is great for candies or sweets, any little item that you want to package. And I do apologize for my raspy voice today. I'm on the phone all day long, so sometimes I lose my voice. So that's another gift idea. So let's get started stamping. Okay, so the first one I'm going to bring in is and I'll have the dimensions on the description later too. Okay, so this is the one that Joyce, I copied from Joyce, or I cased from Joyce, and we're gonna do that one right now. Okay, so I've already done the envelope. Oh, there's the envelope for this one. Okay, so what you're gonna need is a piece of 4 1/4 by 11 base. I'm gonna bring in my paper trimmer because I'm gonna have to score that. And I am going to flip this over. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is score it in half. Okay, so that would be at 5 1/2. Oh, I just cut it. That's why I make 2. We want the scoring blade. Okay, so we're going to score that at 5 1/2. And then I'm going to score this at 1 1/4 inches. Okay, so there's the 1 inch, there's the 1/4 inch. And I am just going to score that. I'm going to go ahead and fold that up and get my bone folder, which hopefully is in my tray here. There it is. And I'm just going to give that a good burnishing. And then I'm going to take that 1 1/4 inch and I'm going to flip that down. Okay, so that is the base right there. I'm going to bring in my silicone mat because I want to put some glue here so it glues up, but I want to make sure that it's not as wide. You can use Tombow if you want, but I like to use my Stamp and Seal. And I'm just going to roll some of that just on the edge, and it's gonna, the silicone mat keeps it on there where I don't want it. Go ahead and just glue that a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and fold that up. Make sure it's no glue there. This is gonna get folded down. Now the next piece I'm gonna bring in is the designer series paper, and that's 4 by 4. Okay, so that's going to get glued right down. I'm using my silicone mat so I don't get my mat here, my backdrop, glue on it. I have enough glue on it already. And I'm going to use the designer series paper. I'm just going to lay that right down. And then the other part, this right here, is 1 by 4. That's the side that we just used, but I'm going to use the other side, okay? Hey, Karen. Hey, Sue. Hi, Tish. And that's going to get glued down right there. So I'm going to go ahead and just put some glue on that. I'm gonna glue that one down. And then what I'm gonna do, as you can see, I'm gonna take the ribbon. Actually, I'm gonna glue this down first because that can go right down there. I'm gonna take a piece of ribbon. And I am just gonna cut a piece off here. Notice I'm doing it towards the front. And again, add a little adhesive to hold that into place, because you're not going to see that anyway. Now, I've already cut out some of the pine cones because I have a lot of things to show you. So here, I used the topper of one of our cases there, and I'm going to grab some of these. So I already stamped these, two-step stamping, and then cut them out, just so that it wouldn't take as long. And I'm going to grab a large one, and then let me grab another smaller one. Those are going to lay right here. Okay, for that I'm going to start using dimensionals. So let me bring my dimensionals in, and I take your pick tool. And I'm just going to add a couple dimensionals to the back of this. And if you have any questions, just use the comments. I will go back and look at those later. I'm going to grab another dimensional for this side. I could probably put, I'm only going to put one on there because I don't want it to stick over there. I'm going to grab that. Then I'm going to grab some of the greenery that I already cut out and the berries. So let's grab some of these. I'm just going to grab different ones. And again, I cut these out ahead of time. And then I'm just going to decide where I'm going to put all this. And the berries, of course. So I'm going to put the berries right there. So these can lay flat because the pine cones are already on dimensionals. So I'm just adding some of my glue there. And then a little piece of pine. Tuck that right under there. And then the berries. And this is Evening Evergreen, Cherry Cobbler, Early Expresso, and Crumb Cake. So there I have the front of the card. Now, I've already done, let's see, I'm going to do this. This one, I already cut these tags out from the Tailor made tags, and I'm actually going to use those, I think, here. I'm just going to see where I want to put that. I want to make sure that it fits without going past the card, so it fits in the envelope. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that with Merry Christmas. Remember, I haven't done this one yet. Same card, but just a little bit different here. This is a clear stamp or a photopolymer stamp. So let me see if the Merry Christmas will fit on this tag. And it just makes it, actually it's a little bit longer, so let's grab another one and move it over a little bit. You might see my head, and I apologize. This is actually too big for that stamp, so we're not going to use that one. We're just going to go back with 'Tis the Season. That'll fit, I hope. Nope, that one's too big too. Well, guess what? Let's find the smaller stamp, which is the Mary. What did I do with the Mary? I know exactly where I put that. I have a stamp missing. And I think I put that back in the case. So let's grab that out of the case. Yep, there it is. Thought I had that on a block, but we'll switch something here. If I used the larger tag, it would fit, but I used the small one. So let's just put that on the block. All right. Now I'm using the red rubber, so I don't need that. I'm going to put the Mary over here. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down onto that beautiful paper. and just put that right at the end, because some of this is going to get hidden. Okay, I'm going to put that right about here. I'm going to lift him up. I'm going to put him under a little bit. So let's go ahead and put some glue on that, and then lift that one up. Put that right there. There we go. All right, we are on our way. All right, now that I have that up there, I'm going to add something to it. I'm going to add some more berries, I think, right here. Oh, thanks, Joyce. Joyce says she likes what I did with her idea. Okay, I'm going to lift that up again and tuck that right in there. Okay, so it's a little three-dimensional, but that's the way I wanted it. And then I am going to take that ribbon and I am going to tie a little bow. Now, when I tie bows, what I do is I just tie it like that, and then I take the tails and what I call the ears, and I hold them at the same time to tighten that. So just like this. All right, so I'm going to make that smaller. I don't want a big bow. Let's see if that works. I'm going to trim off these ends. And then I'll tighten that up a little bit. Now I can work it until I get it the size I want. And I'm going to add that right there. Okay, for this one I can add, use a dimensional or glue dots. And I think I'm going to use the glue dots. Now, glue dots come in a roll, but you'll see mine are flat because I have a lot left from my paper pumpkins. And I like to use those up. Let me move that over there before I stick my hand in it. And I am just going to go ahead and put a couple of glue dots down here. And add that. And the berries are just peeking out there. So there's my base, and you can also add the Winkostella. There's the base to it. Now, for the insert piece, I have a piece of soft succulent, and this piece is 4 by 5 1/4, so it fits nicely in there. Okay, whoop, don't want to bend it though. Because of the glue, sometimes you got to play around with it, but that fits nicely in there, just like that. Now, to pull it out, what I used was a little punch that I have, 3 1/4 punch. You can also use the little circle dies. I'm going to go ahead and punch out a circle. And then I am going to add some glue right here, because you're not going to see it. I just want a little pull tab there, just like that. Okay, that's the start of that. Try to get it in the middle there. Then I'm going to grab another piece of white, which is 3 3/4 by 4, and that's going to lay right over here, just like this one. I'm going to bring in the Merry Christmas, and I'm using both stamp sets when I do this, okay? I'm going to put Merry Christmas right here. I'm going to add the sentiment. Now, since I have the fun little lights on there, I'm going to use the Have a Holly Jolly Christmas. Again, I'm going to grab that, put that in the cherry cobbler. I'm going to add that. Then I'm going to bring in my pine cones. And you'll see how they overlay so nice. I'm going to grab the large, I'll have to grab the smaller one, I think. Okay, so here's the 2 small ones. And then I have this little greenery here. For that, I'm going to use soft succulent. Just have to grab these because I got them all lined up here. Oh, actually don't have my soft succulent here. Well, all right, so we'll just improvise. we're going to use Seafoam Green. It's hard getting everything over on the table that I need when I do this many. And I'm just going to add some green there. And I have all these stamp pads open, so hopefully I don't mess anything up. I'm going to grab the small pine cones. And you'll see one is a little bit deeper image than the other. So the more bold image I'm going to do in Crumb Cake. Just going to stamp that. Then I'm going to bring in, you can use early Expresso or soft suede. Sometimes the early Expresso is a little too dark, so I'm using soft suede. And I'm going to stamp right over that. And that's how you get that great image. I better start closing some of these up. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip that over. Just going to add some of my glue on there. And bring in back that insert piece. Lay that right on top there. Okay. And that is going to go right inside here. Just like that. And there's your little slider card. What do you think? Okay, let me grab the envelope. And I'm just going to grab, let's see, I'll grab the berries because that's what I have open right now. And we'll use the berries for this, okay? So, again, with the soft suede, I'm just going to stamp that. And then with the cherry cobbler, the berries, and they do line up. You just have to make sure that you have them the right way. And there, I line that up, and there's my envelope. You can also do it on the lip of the envelope too, which I normally do, but I'm not going to do that tonight, just because I have 2 more cards to do. And there you have your slider card. So thank you, Joyce, for that idea. I absolutely love this. This fun fold might actually be my Christmas cards this year. Okay. The next one that I'm going to show you is how I did this card, the fun fold flap card. And let's just see, I have my directions for that. So this one, another fun card. Just move that over there. I'm going to bring in the pieces. The base to this is 5.5 by 8 1/4. So it's a little bit smaller than what you normally use, okay? And again, I will put all the dimensions on here when I'm done. I am going to score that. Let me move my trimmer here. I'm going to score that at 1 inch. And then I'm going to slide it in over to 5 1/4. And I'm going to go ahead and score that again. That's all you need. That's the measurements you need for that card. When I flip it over, it folds right in just like that. And then you just begin to decorate it. Now, my measurements may not be perfect, okay, because I'm not quite great with math. But the white piece that I'm going to layer right on the top of this is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then my Designer Series paper piece is just a little bit smaller than that. That's 2.5 by 5. And that's going to layer right on top of here. Okay, so I'll go ahead and glue that down. And then that gets put right on top of your card base. So that's going to go right here. Now I have another strip, and it's part of the Designer Series paper, but it's totally different. Okay, and I can use this side or this side. I'm thinking I want to use this side, pine cones with pine cones. So this white strip is 1 inch by 5 1/4. And then the smaller piece is just I think it's like, I don't know, because I don't really measure that well. Just one little notch over. So just a little higher than 3 3/4, okay? A little bit higher than 3 3/4 by 5. I apologize for that, but I am not a math whiz. And that's going to get layered right on top of here. So that's going to go right there. That's your card. Now I have this larger die, and I did this in the Evergreen. And what I'm going to do with that is I am going to grab I'm going to grab that new embossing folder, and I'm going to emboss that just because I want something with a little dimension on it. So I'm just going to stick this right in here. I'm going to bring in my die cutting and embossing machine. Which was on the floor. Take this piece off. And grab my 2 cutting plates. I'm going to put that between those. And I am just going to go ahead and emboss that. I run out of room on the table here, so I have to put things on the floor next to me. I'm going to go ahead and pop that out. And you see it's got that great dimension. Look at that. I'm going to bring in another label die from that set, and that's going to fit very nicely right there. And this one I am going to use, let's see, which sentiment do I want to use? I'm going to use the Love and Joy. So I'm going to bring that in. I'm going to use my cherry cobbler, and that should fit right, really nice right in there, which it does. And then let's see, maybe we will add a little green to this. So let me add a little green on the edges. And a little bit more. Usually I have this covered. So there we have a little bit of green on there. Doesn't that look pretty? Hello from Maryland. North Carolina, you caught me live, Jenny. Yay! Hey, Alex. You got on late, but you love the card. Well, that's what all that counts, right? So I am going to go ahead and glue this down. That's going to go right inside there. I'm going to bring this back in, and what I'm going to do is actually use dimensionals. You can lay it down flat, but I want to have it lifted up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put dimensionals on here. I hope you've all enjoyed the Christmas in July. I have lots of Christmas sets that I still haven't used yet, so they'll be back. But next we got to start working on Halloween and the fall cards, and then we'll get back to Christmas. We're like the stores. We start a couple months ahead of time. Okay, and I am just going to lay that right on top there. Okay. I'm going to bring in a piece of white, which is our standard 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to stamp Season's Greetings. And let's see, what do I want to put on this one? Do I want to do the pine cones again? Or the berries? I really love these berries. So I'm going to go with some berries. Now, I should have used my mat, but I didn't. But that's small enough, so it worked out okay. And there's my berries over here. And let me just put these right where they're supposed to be. And you see the image is not a full image. Let me bring that up. That's the way these stamps are, okay? Nothing wrong with them. They're the distinctive images. We're going to put that right in there. You hate getting phone calls during demos. I don't blame you. Don't answer the phone. Okay, I just want to make sure that's down really well. And then I'm going to bring in some gems. You know what? I need more. I need more. I'm going to put a bow on this one too. So I'm going to tie another little bow here. I just love this ribbon. So I'm just going to tie another little bow. Be careful with this ribbon because the ends do fray. So you want to be gentle with it. Don't pull from the ends. And I'm going to put a bow up here. So let me grab some glue dots. I may cover up some of that green, but I want a bow on it. Make it just a tad smaller. And then I'm just going to lay that right there. Yeah, it covers up the green, but... And then what I'm going to do, I don't want to cover up the words though, so let me move that just up, just a hair. There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to bring in my gems, and I'm going to add some. Now I'm going to add the cherry cobbler so it really makes it pop. I'm going to add a couple right here. And then maybe two more right here. Bring in my envelope and my mat. And now I'm gonna do another pine cone. So let me grab the crumb cake. And then the soft suede. And then that nice green. And I'm just going to add that right here. And now I have another cute fun fold. Not hard to do at all. You know what? I need some more bling on here. I need to bring this out. So I'm going to put another one right there. There we go. That's all there was to it. Another fun fold. What do you think? Oh, thank you, Kathy. Samantha, you're the first time watching live from San Leandro Bay, California. Well, thank you for tuning in. So there we have the other fun fold. Now for the third card. Let me move all this out of the way because I'm not sure which ones I'm using here yet. Let me slide this over. I'm going to show you this one, or a similar one to it, okay? So let me bring in all those pieces. Some of it I've already done. So let's just put that one right there. All right, so I'm going to take a piece of cherry cobbler. I'm going to go ahead and fold that right in half. The next thing I have is a piece of our soft succulent, and that's the regular 4 by 5 1/4, and designer series paper, which is 3 3/4 by 5. That gets layered right on top of there, just like that. So let me go ahead and do that. I figured since I wasn't doing any lives this Friday or next Monday, I would do 3 cards tonight. I hope you're enjoying them. Definitely share my videos. Tell all your friends about me. Leave me some nice comments. I have 83 3 days until I start doing this full time. I'm going to go ahead and put some ribbon across this. You know what? I think I'll wait on the ribbon. I'm going to wait on the ribbon. Hang on a minute. Now those two dies, the big dies that I showed you. Okay, this one. And then this one. So these are the two dies. I've already cut out the green one, and I've already put some of my adhesive sheet on the back. So I do have to pull this apart. That's gonna go, let me just move this out of the way. That's gonna go right on top here. So on the back here, you can see that white, and that's our adhesive sheets. The other one I didn't do yet. I'm gonna show you how I use that because a couple people have asked me about it. The thing I love about this, those adhesive sheets, is sometimes you just have to get the right end here. When you start pulling that apart, you don't have to poke out a lot of those pieces. So let me just get this going. This does take a little time. This is why I left this one for last. Okay, so see how I'm pulling that off? A lot of little pieces are gonna fall off with that. As I'm pulling it, gently pulling it away, some of those pieces are staying right on the adhesive sheet, and you don't have to use your wire brush as much. You will still have to use some of it. Okay, so we're just going to throw that over there for now. And when I flip this around, I can see which pieces didn't come out. Now it's very sticky, so be careful. Most of those pieces already came out. They all came out. Oh, there's just one. I just got him. I'm going to lay that right down on top of my card. Just like that. You can also use Tombow or two-way glue, but when it's this intricate, I like to use the adhesive sheets. And if it goes over like this does, I'm going to trim that later. Okay, so that's down. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in a piece of that beautiful glittery paper. I'm going to bring a piece of my, now mine says Sizzix because it's an old one, but the adhesive sheets are right here. And this is how they come. And they are in the catalog, and I will put that down later. Okay. And I am just going to cut this piece to fit that. Let me grab my paper trimmer. You don't need to cover the whole thing. That's what I love about it. So this is 5 inches, so we'll do 5, a little over 5 inches. And I can save a piece of that for something else. Okay, so to the back, let me get all these pieces out of the way. To the back of that, this one says peel here. Sometimes you need take your pick tool to just get that off, but I'm just peeling that off. And this you don't need. This is the sticky part. I'm going to go ahead and lay that right in the middle. Okay. I am going to take, now this die, just so you know, this die is the one that I used here, and you can see that it's more image here. Okay. So this is the one that's more of an intricate die. I didn't even take the tape off that yet. And that you would layer onto this. So let me bring in my machine again. There's a couple ways that you can do this, okay? Some people lay it down this way. And others do it face up. I think sometimes with the thicker paper, face up actually does work better. And I'm just gonna sandwich that in. I'm gonna roll it up one, whoop, forgot the other piece. Hold on. Where is my other piece? There it is. Okay, make sure you got all your pieces here. And I'm just gonna put that right in here. And you can hear it crunching, and it's a little hard, a little tight, but it does work. crunching is good. It's really moving. And I go back one more time. You don't want to do too many times though, because it will cut into too much of the paper. Okay, let's take that off. Ah, that was a workout. Now, you see my die stayed right here, and there's my piece. And then the same thing, you're just going to gently peel some of this away. What you can do is you can use the wire brush too. I'm going to start peeling it off from the back. And some of these things are going to get stuck, so let me grab a piece of paper. This is how I do it anyway. Just grab a piece of scrap paper. Any kind of scrap paper will work. And just stick those on there because they are sticky. And I'm going to start peeling this away. Some of this one didn't come off, but there you go. See, it's peeling right off. It's also sticking to my fingers. Now this is a thicker paper, so some of those pieces did not come off. Most of them do though. And then you can just take your pick tool to get the rest of them off. But a lot of people were asking me about these adhesive sheets, so I wanted to do that live. Let me get this out of the way. And then the pieces that didn't come off, I'll just take your pick tool and pull them through. You do have to be gentle with this though. Use my silicone mat, that'll work even better. And look at how easy those pieces come out. Just don't want to pull too hard. Come on. Got them all stuck to my hand. What do you think about this wheat so far? This piece has to come off. And there might be some pieces on the edges that didn't come off, but most of them did. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Nice and shimmery. Perfect for the holidays. I'm going to bring in that piece again. And these do line up. They're off a little bit so that you can see both colors. And it lays nicely right over that. Look at that. Oh yeah, yes, Karen, this is a must-have. Okay, so now that I got that layered, now this is where I'm going to just trim off some of those edges that were too long on my paper. That's all I had to do. Look how beautiful that looks. Wow, 70 people watching. Thank you, everyone. Now I'm going to, this is when I'm going to put the ribbon on. Okay, now I'm going to put the ribbon on. And remember, still shots will be on my blog tomorrow and on my Facebook business page. Stampersdelight.com is the blog. I'm going to move this over. Just going to wrap that right here and right here. Hold it down. Just cut it. Bring in my adhesive again. I'm going to go all the way around with this. You don't need a lot with this, but this is kind of heavy now, so I want to make sure it stays. And I'm going to layer that right onto the cherry cobbler. And there's the start of my card. Look at that. Okay, so let's move these pieces before I lose them. These are my dies. Okay, what else do I have here? Okay, I have one little one that I did. I thought I did more of them. So I have this one little gold one. I use the scraps to do that. I'm going to grab some of these larger ones that I did earlier. Grab a couple small ones. Let's see, do I have a label done? I have a label in here somewhere, I thought. There it is. Let me grab this label. Okay, so this label is going to go right down there. So I'm not sure where I'm going to put those yet. So let's stamp this first. Okay, and this one I'm going to use the Friends Like You Make the Season Special. I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. Again, these are the label dies. I'm going to use dimensionals with this. Definitely tell me if it's your first time watching me. Oh, Shauna, thank you. Thank you all so much. It's because of you that I do this. Okay, I'm just going to put 4 on there. I'm going to put this down first so then I can decide where I'm going to put my pine cones. Put that right in there. And then let's see, I'm going to put one of the pine cones right here, the larger one. I don't want to cover up too much of that beautiful paper. So those can fit right in there. I don't know, I'm thinking maybe I'll go with the smaller ones so more of that beautiful paper shows. That's what I think. What do you think? Thank you, Candace. Okay, so let's bring this in. Let's add some glue to these. Just going to add a little glue to the top and to the bottom. And then I'm going to put that right under there. Yeah, I like the smaller ones because then you can see more of that gold paper. Add that right there. Grab some of the green pieces that I've already done. And add some of that green to it. And I just use which, I mean, there's a lot of greenery in this suite, so you have your choice. Okay. And then I'm going to grab another small one because I really, really don't want to hide that beautiful paper. And I'm going to put one, I think, right down here. Okay. Right there. Let me grab some more greenery. This one's going to be too big. Nope, that one's good. Put that one right under there. Oh my gosh, look at this, isn't it great? And then you can always add the Winkestella. I got a couple more berries here. Let's try a few berries. Okay, that right there looks beautiful, but I'm going to add some of these great little gold leaves that you can see on all the other cards. Okay, and these I found that the mini dimensionals work perfect on. So I'm going to grab a couple of those. And add some of those around here. Ooh. This one's pretty too. I'm going to have to order more of these because these are so cute. Put that one right there. Let's grab a couple more. I'm going to have the blingiest Christmas cards. Okay, there's a large one. Add that one right there. And then I got a small one here, so we'll use that. And again, Winkestella would go nice too. Now this little guy I had left over, so you know what? We're going to use him too. We're going to put him right there. Why not? Look at that. What do you think? Can you see it? Beautiful, beautiful cards. Now the inside, Friends Like You make the season special. For the inside, I'll bring in the Merry Christmas. And for this one, I am going to go ahead and grab this green, the greenery, and I am just going to put that around the edges here. I am definitely not done playing with this suite. And then just put that right in there. Okay, and let's see, do I have an envelope here for this? There we go. And let's see, what do I have? I have the large one in my hand, so we'll go with the large one. We've got the crumb cake. Whoop, that's the wrong one. I wanted the wide one. No worries. Watch this. Put that right over there. It works that way too. And then let me grab the darker one and just go right back over it. I can have a 3-tone one. And then grab that green. And let me do a little more green on that. There we go. And now we have another bling card. But all is not done because we need... I'm not going to put ribbon on this one. You see I put the ribbon on that. We're going to forego the ribbon this time. And I'm just going to add some of our cherry cobbler rhinestones so that they look like berries. Okay. I know they say you're supposed to use odd amounts like 3 or 5, but sometimes I just think they look fine with whatever you put on there. Okay, and there we have it. There's another card. So, wow, 3 cards tonight. What did you think? Okay, that's all right. If you were late, you can watch the replay. So, and I'm also going to bring in all the cards right now so you can see them. So this was the 2 with those great dies. And you can see I stamped on this label. I didn't stamp on that one, but I like to show just different things. Then we have these 2, the fun folds. This other one right here. Such a gorgeous suite. And then we have the 2 slider cards. Okay, and don't forget your packaging and tags for your holiday needs. I know I don't see Randy on here, but she makes chocolates, and she's going to use those boxes for chocolates. And there's 2 packaging ideas. Oh, thank you, Bree. Which one's your favorite? Can you pick a favorite for me? Let me know. Let me just turn this. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's video live with Painted Christmas. Remember, these suites are available starting August 3rd. And so is Celebration, and that is the gold paper. And if you left me a comment or asked me a question, I will be checking those tomorrow. All the information, the things I used, and the dimensions for the cards, the 2 special cards, or the 2 fun fold cards, will be back. I'll put those in the description. So, again, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great week, everybody. I won't be on this weekend, but I'll be back the Monday after that, okay? So until then, keep on stamping.